by the name of Plus Givens. Is that correct? Am I saying your name right, buddy?
Yup, just with a X, flip it around, you get plus and give back to those who need.
There it is, man. And it's a new show. You guys are new to this. It's all about homemade talent. Properties of the Cayman Islands, 345, belongs to us wherever else they go. Still stand print with that 345, man. And I decided to bring Plus onto the show only because we've been trying to spit some knowledge to a lot of the youngsters here on the island, trying to find out, okay, how to get a record done, how to get that completed, how to be an entrepreneur in this music business. And Plus immediately came to my mind right away. So I just want Plus to introduce himself, because this is the platform to talk as long as you want, as often as you want, and express whatever you want. Total rawness.
Man,
So you go ahead, Plus.
They say you say too much, you lose everything, though.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm gonna give.
Short and sweet.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna give them just what I've been given.
Appreciate that.
I mean, if I had to start from anywhere, I think my first introduction was on a tape that I did called Free Money, and I asked Little John. I mean, didn't know him at the time. I asked Little John if he wouldn't mind hosting the mixtape.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a spiritual believer in putting things into the universe, and prior to me even knowing him, I told my staff, just to get them motivated, or my artists at the time, I was like, we're going to get Lil Jon to host this tape. It's the right time, and it's the right energy, and him being #1 at the time, I was like, I'm gonna get him by the stars of the crook, you know?
But let's pause right there.
Yeah.
I know there's a lot of youngsters listening right now, and you just don't say, I'm going to put Lil Jon on a record. Like, how do you do that? Like, how do you approach, like, my favorite right now, period, I just love his ambition and where he's going, is DJ Khaled. How do I approach DJ Khaled? How do I get DJ Khaled on a record that I want to cut if I was a local artist?
Man, you just position yourself in the right place. I can't even say there's any like magic trick that was done to it. I would, and this is prior to any social networks, I would just see what was going on. If there was a video shoot, I would make sure that I was there.
Yeah.
You know, I would make sure that my talent spoke for me. And I don't know, just I've always had this business sense about me to not be annoying, because I don't like people annoying me. So you have that first time to make the right impression, and by the grace of the Father, I've always been able to do that.
How do you not be the weird guy though? Like hanging out the video shoots, bucking up with them in the club, and they don't think that this is the annoying guy that's gonna keep showing up to everything I do until he gets what he wants.
Man, handing you a CD in a Sharpie, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, just looking real like I just started yesterday.
Exactly.
You know, that's what you don't do. You know, you try to the best of your ability, you try to meet the marks of the majors at your financial, benefit at the time, however you can. If it's a Sharpie and a blank CD, then so be it. Color the packaging with a different color Sharpie, just to show any type of originality.
You can speak of at the point. And education, we'll touch on this. We'll try to get you back in the studio at some other point, but we'll touch on education real quick. It's a lot of youngins feel here on the island that I got my goals all set out for me, and education is not a part of it. How do you feel about college working into music?
Man, you have some really good questions, Dane. I'm going to answer.
Even going down further than that, how do you feel like high school and college plays a role in your music?
I'm gonna go all the way back to grade school. Like for me, I used to collect cards, right? So I would go to card shows, because in collecting cards, you go to this, I don't know, whatever store you would go to, and I would purchase a pack, and I'm like, this just isn't economical, because they're charging me retail.
Yeah.
So I found out that I have to go to card shows, and I would buy boxes instead of packs, because I could possibly pull, I don't know, a Jordan when he played for the White Sox. I can grab one of those. And in going to the card shows, I would find like fake cards, resell them or trade them for better cards from other kids that were in my class grade. So now fast forward, I noticed everyone was selling candy. So I was like, all right, this doesn't make sense to go to the store and buy candy, because they're selling it at retail. So I had a few dollars. I've always been an entrepreneur, and I would take that money and I went to Sam's or Costco, and I had them pull out the machine, the beep, 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 and I took the whole rack. I mean, I must have spent like $600-700. I had no idea how I was gonna sell thousands of pieces of candy.
But you bought them wholesale.
I bought it still was a lot for an 11-year-old.
Yeah.
So I had them bring that truck down, because I've always had this boss feeling about myself. I went home, I bagged everything up, properly, and went to school, and I hired everyone in the school from 6th to 8th grade, and I paid them on Fridays. And I mean, from 6th grade all the way to 8th grade, I was making about $1,000 a week. So then going into high school, you know, I strayed away from legitimate business in a sense, and I started rolling dice because you're young, you're introduced to different things. You're a moneymaker, so you're not afraid to gamble. So started rolling dice. So 9th and 10th grade, I didn't attend any classes and just rolled dice. And then going into 11th grade, I was transferred to a better school because my mother just saw a problem with that. You've got a closet full of Jordans and you're the fresh Moschino, Versace, you name it. Yeah. But you're like all effed, you know? Yeah. So she transferred me to a better school. And going into that better school, what I noticed was I was challenged by the curriculum. And I think to play back, the problem with the going from grade school to junior high was that the public school curriculum wasn't challenging enough for me. I wasn't given that same sense of accomplishment with what they were teaching me. So in 11th grade, I completed everything I didn't do in 9th and 10th grade in 1 year, and finished school halfway. In 12th grade, I finished school half a year before I needed to, and I just took PE the whole half a year of school. So how important is school? I mean, it's very important. I went to college, and the biggest thing that I learned was how to communicate with others, and that's what life is about. If you can't figure out how to network, then you really are not going to go anywhere. True. So yeah, that's how important school is. That's how school helped me. You need it, especially in this music business. I watched an interview with Swiss Beats the other day, and he's attended Harvard Business School. Yeah. You would think a person of that level of success, like what is he going back to school for?
Doesn't make any sense.
You know, but there were certain levels of the business and certain senses of respect that he needed to gain in the boardroom, and I feel the same exact way. No matter where I get in life, shit, I want to build. Excuse my language. I want to build a spaceship. You know, if I get bored of music. You know,
props. And I'm glad that you spoke on that and the importance, because a lot of people look up to you. I know, like I said, I always mention him, and I'm going to continue to keep mentioning him. But that's Josh Pearl, and he looks up to you, man. As long as you teach them the right things in life, then they're going to continue to follow exactly what their mentors are doing. Anything else you want to touch on before we leave, man? We're going to try to get you back on the show at some point.
Yeah, it's all good.
You do spit knowledge. But,
Thank you.
But unfortunately, we're out of time right now. But yeah, Plus Givens, man, if you want to look up more information on this man right here,
you just hit me on every social network. It's at Plus Givens. I want everybody to go on the site, which is www.trsnspls.com. That's trsnspls.com. I mean, you're going to love the clothing. It brings a high-end look, especially from a kid coming from an urban community. You know, to see us reach that level of that Italian wear, but made in the USA, I think they're gonna be proud. And
you get jealous almost when you go on your sites. You see all the work, and you're like, people forget that, man. Like you see so much glamour, and you see like things look good, but then you don't even know the hard work that was put into doing that.
A year and plus in R&D.
Because I go out with these guys sometimes. Like I try to hang out with Josh Pearl and Cottrell sometimes. And you watch the videos and you see how much fun these guys are having in the videos, but then you're like, wow, you gotta lift boxes? Wow, you gotta bring your own camera?
Oh, you gotta fold your own shirts?
You gotta walk all the way down there? You mean you actually sweat and you have to wipe your own sweat? Like it's so much work, and people forget that.
Oh, do they forget it, or they just think that it just magically happens?
They think that automatically you're supposed to be treated as you see it on TV, and there's no work to get to that level. So I'm kind of glad that we can talk to people like you guys, and you can actually show that it is a business. It's 90% business, 10% fun, but 90% of the business is for those. They'll find that 90% is fun if you actually love what you're doing.
Man, I blew out the electricity in my auntie's house. How many times with how many transfer machines we had? And I mean, we wouldn't sleep 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. We've been working since the day before, and then jump on the highway the next day to go get rid of those shirts. And that's what they don't see.
Man, it's all hard work.
That's what they don't see. Thank you.
Once again, name that website, man.
It's www.trsnspls.com. And much love and respect, Dane.
No problem, man. You follow back too, right?
Hands down.
All right, man. So he followed you back. He called you too. He will probably set up a time where you can talk to him.
Well, I only follow females because we don't follow mine. But yeah, you can see that. You go on my gram.
You can check the follow him and ask him a question. I'm pretty sure he answered. All right. That's what it is right now, man. Of course, it's Homeland, and don't forget you can contact me anytime 943-3700. And of course, the station's official Twitter is at @star927 Cayman, or you can follow me on Twitter at Dane's Life, DANESLIFE. Now we'll follow back regardless of gender. I'm no way.
That's all good. I believe my time is here and it's gonna be here. So, I just hold on to that faith.